Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We're also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss the return of age statements in bourbon. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Agley, along with our special guests, Kathy Cool, Lenny Eckstein, and Tim Swiat.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hello.
Hey, do you guys realize if Lenny had an age statement, he'd be like 2 weeks old? Because you have to put the youngest thing that's in your body.
Cells.
Yeah, his stem cells, yeah.
Not even. I'd be like 5 days old.
Yeah, so there you go. There you go. So yeah, so that's just something to think about. Yeah, I'm just all original, so I hate to think how old I am. So just old. So we've got a fun show today. We're going to be talking about the return of age statements.
Oh God! Let me just send us a picture, and it's horrid.
I couldn't get that deep into the file.
Oh, it made me download it, but it's the whole needle situation happening.
Needle situation? Oh,
Is this from Lenny's? Is this Lenny getting a shot?
Yep.
Yeah.
In his ass again?
No, it's like yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
You did that without a warning.
Oh, yeah. That's up. Oh boy, it's up in there. Yeah, that's bad.
Oh, this is a video.
Okay.
Yeah, I just saw
this. This is good podcasting.
We're seeing
Lenny with his shirt off is
Lenny with his shirt off, light chest hair.
It's like Hugh Jackman, just shorter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the surgery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, this is cool.
No.
Lenny's out. Lenny's out.
But
no, he's just facing the other way.
Oh, he's out. Oh, that needle almost broke off into Lenny. That was close.
Correct.
That was bending like crazy. There's bending again.
I like how they're kind of like spreading them all around.
Yeah. You can see like the little dots.
I did not like that.
There you go.
I like that they Apple Watch because like they're focusing right, but if a text came through, they're like, "Oh wait, hold on, just let it hang out in your chest while I answer this."
Yeah.
I don't like that they're pulling the needle back out, like they're pulling the plunger back out and then
replunging. I noticed that too. That's a proper sterile technique.
Lenny, what are you doing?
Oh,
what are you doing,
needle?
I think it's awesome.
It is really cool, but
sure, it's awesome.
What can I go get stem cells for?
Oh, God, what the hell's wrong?
Anything.
Anything. Get them for anything. That fixes anything.
Whatever you want them for, just go get them.
Okay.
Shoulder. Fixes your shoulder. Yeah,
Make
whatever.
you more flexible.
Makes you more flexible.
I would love to be more flexible.
Gets rid of the bags under your eyes. You name it.
I do have those.
Okay, there you go. It'll fix that. Don't worry.
I wonder if I frown lines instead of Botox. I'll just inject some.
Your frown lines. Well, why don't you try not frowning, McNew?
Because I don't know. It's just my face.
My face. It's just my face, she says. Okay. KK, you said there's something you wanted to talk about. What is that?
Yes. So we're talking about age statements today.
Yes.
What would 10-year-old you think of you now?
Oh.
That's
That's interesting.
Oh,
That's interesting. 10-year-old.
I know
10-year-old
I have a
me.
10-year-old right now,
Okay.
and I'm not sure what he thinks of me.
No, not
But
that.
he's using it to provide insight to how a 10-year-old thinks. I
Okay.
think,
Okay.
I think
Because he's like a clone
it's
of me.
valid. Yeah, it's valid.
Well, you're going to grow the clones out of your shoulders.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Mine would be superbly disappointed
Really?
Why?
because I don't own any horses.
Oh.
Oh.
10-year-old me thought for sure. So where I lived, we lived in a subdivision, but behind us was a creek. And then on the other side of the creek was a little bit of property where the family had horses. But they were always like unattainable. I could only just look at them. So
Right.
I became obsessed with having a horse. And I would draw horses and I would name my horses. And I don't own any horses. So she would be like,
So like 10-year-old you was like, as soon as I can get a horse, I'm getting one.
yeah. She would be like, where did you go wrong?
Right.
Yeah, so I think this is a little girl thing because from like 5 to 12, I asked my mom and dad for a horse for every Christmas and every birthday. Not mind you, we lived in town with a tiny little yard, and where would we put it? But I thought that was a very reasonable thing to ask for about 7 years of my life. It was little girls are horse girls. Just want them.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So McNew, what would 10-year-old you think of you?
I think I would think I'm awesome because 10-year-old me was so quiet and shy. I never talked to anybody. And she'd be like, this bitch never shuts the fuck up. Good for her. Like, she would be so happy to be like, we talk to people. Like, I was a weird kid. I just kind of like sat in the corner and like didn't talk to anybody. And I think she'd be really happy for me.
10-year-old, is that about fourth grade? That's what I had.
Yeah.
That was a big year for me. So up from kindergarten through fourth grade, I was afraid of authority, a straight A student. I always sat at the front because at that point in our country's history, it was always done alphabetically, and I was always first. I was always in the front row, and I was a super student, very focused. Never got a B in my whole life, and but then what I realized was I was just a fat dork, and no one liked me. And I found if I could rely on humor, people liked me. So then I just started focusing on the humor and just to try to make people laugh, specifically girls, of course. But I started focusing on that. And then I realized the girls that wouldn't talk to me, if you're funny, they will talk to you. And over time, if you can make them laugh long enough, they might actually just like you then. So that fourth grade, that's when I transitioned from, so I would be like, you bastard, it worked. You made it through a whole life, everything off that humor. That's how it works. Hey, now you're on a podcast, laughing, yucking it up every day. You did it, man. You did it. That's what 10-year-olds.
And you scored the warden.
Yeah.
I scored the warden.
Girl.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Or you might look at it the other way. She scored me.
he
So,
scored you, Steve.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's how most people see it. I think.
That's what I think too.
I mean, oh yeah, yeah. All those iced teas I've had to buy. I mean, look at that.
Worth every
Yeah. My
penny.
net worth goes down, but yeah. She comes strolling in the barrel shop the other day, and I'll be goddamn, just comes walking in with the extra large, whatever it is, the Trenta iced tea from Starbucks. You know what those things cost? And I'm like, why would you go to Starbucks for iced tea? Is there iced tea any better than anybody else's, other than you have to pay 2 to 3 times more for it? I mean, here we go. And I think she's been empowered by Becca, who's trying to uplift her into saying,
yes.
you need to get those. Yeah. This
Yeah,
is
That was a bad move by you financially, Steve.
This was. But here's the thing. I know that she goes to an office for work. There's probably ladies like getting flowers, or she's like, oh, he bought me a new diamond for our anniversary. And poor Warden has to be like, I just get iced teas, and he bitches about them.
$5 on iced tea. It's like the end of the fucking world within.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So, yes. My wife buys herself flowers sometimes because she says, I don't buy them. Yeah, I don't buy flowers. I don't buy flowers. I don't buy cards. Oh, that's cards. Unless it's the 99-cent card. If I have to buy a card, I'm going to go look at the rack. What's on the 99-cent ones? That's the only ones I want to see.
Here's what my sister and I do for birthday cards. We go to the store, we find a good, funny birthday card, we take a picture of it, text the picture of the card with the happy birthday message, put the card back, done.
Fun. Because what would you do with the card? Throw it in a drawer forever and eventually
No, you throw it in the recycling. It's a waste.
I feel obligated to keep it for a while, so I have a drawer full that gets thrown away like once a year. It's
Right.
feel guilty.
Yeah. On that note, where are we at in the show? We have to drink, right? I
We
think.
need a
No,
drink.
10-year-old Tim.
10-year-old Tim.
Yeah. Okay.
I
got
had
lost
to
in
think
the
about this one because 10-year-old Tim would think, God, you're doing pretty good, but you didn't marry Baroness from G.I. Joe. You married Scarlet, and that's probably a pretty good consolation. But yeah, 10-year-old Tim was really focused on the bad girls of G.I. Joe at that time.
show. Okay.
I was the fat kid, unathletic kid with the handlebar glasses on the path to be the Unabomber at some point in time, I'm sure.
Right.
And,
Working on your manifesto.
exactly. And then somehow found my way. And you know,
The general changed all of that.
the general
comes
anointed
along.
me,
Right.
and then it was
Put you on the right path. Yeah. You were heading down a bad road.
She found me. It was that fateful night when I decided to ask her out on her graphing calculator in freshman year of college. Then that was it. But yes, I ended up marrying Scarlet instead of Baroness. That would have been a frustrating point for 10-year-old me. But I think he would have said, "Yeah, you did the right choice."
Right.
Aw.
Right.
Lenny.
What does 10-year-old Lenny say?
Well, at 10 years old, one thing that stands out as a bit of a scar in my life was I was terrible at sports. I couldn't play ball sports, and that's what everybody did growing up. So I couldn't catch a baseball or hit a baseball. Couldn't run around the soccer field. All of that. And I think that 10-year-old me would have been like, hey, good job for finding the most obscure sports ever that no one cares about, but you're pretty fucking good at them.
You're good at squirt boating.
Squirt boating.
Yes, exactly.
You're my favorite squirt boater of all
General
time. Yeah.
Stand-up paddleboarding down the river, snowboarding, like all those things that no one really cares about. Pretty good at them.
Okay.
That was growing up
Still
in Philly,
can't play ball
right?
sports.
Oh, yeah. He grew up in Philly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Philly,
yeah.
tough crowd.
It's
Tough
definitely a tough crowd. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. That's what our 10-year-old selves would say to us. Yeah, that was a deep one. So there you go. On that note, it's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? We're starting with Kathy this time. Kathy, what do you got there?
I have something with a 10-year-old age statement.
Okay. Age statement.
It's a Russell's.
Okay. Solid. Solid. Maybe enough. We'll see. All right. Let's see here. McNew, what do you got?
I have an Elijah Craig barrel proof, and it's 11 years old in 5 months. Not a lot left.
Whoa, you beat Kathy. Okay. Not as good as Kathy's, though. I've got Cherry Bomb here. Cherry Bomb. It's 9 years old. Cherry Bomb. Oh,
That was nice.
that's a leader right there, folks. That's the lead. Lenny's not doing it because he's in
Actually, I am. I don't give a fuck.
Puerto Vallarta still. What do you
I
got?
did find this little sample bottle that I had in my
Okay.
suitcase.
Okay.
I asked my the actually earlier today. I asked this to be put in my IV bag.
Oh my God, I
have a
love
picture of
that.
them taken.
Fantastic.
But I'm gonna drink a little bit of it, even though I'm not supposed to be drinking.
Oh,
No quick
jeez.
pop, though.
Okay. All right. Last but not least is Tim. Tim, what do you got?
I got the youngest. I got an 8-year-old bottle of Bourbon Deluxe from Rolling Fork.
Okay.
It's right on the set.
I like how Tim has to move like one room away and he has no access to his bourbon. It's just like, oh, he can't. He's got one bottle.
It's being
I've got
remodeled.
2 bottles at my desk. I've got 3 rooms worth of tile being laid down, and they're all in my all the furniture is in my dining room and hallways, and I have no access to any of that shit.
No access.
Because my bar is all
That's poor planning.
tarped off.
That is poor planning. It's
That's
like
poor
you couldn't have grabbed a few bottles and get them where you can have access to them.
Do have a few bottles, but they're scotch. So I was not about to bring scotch.
Once
I don't
again, that's poor
know.
planning.
You were
Yeah.
at the airport. You couldn't have just paid airport prices for new bourbon.
You would think.
Not when I paid $37 for a pour of Peerless Rye last night from this place. I said, "You got to be kidding me!"
That's great. That's crazy.
$37 for a pour.
Really? That's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
25% of that markup is because it's a business hotel. Another 25% of that markup is because they can.
Sure. All right. Cheers to me on a victory there.
Cheers.
All right. We'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking about age statements. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
This is New Guy. To set the record straight, all my cookies are made from scratch, not slice and bake. And you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about age statements making a comeback.
Yes, we are. So here we go again. So let's recap here. So age statements kind of weren't a thing early on in bourbon. Then they became a thing, and then they became very important. You had to have the stuff that had the age statement on there. Very important. But big age statement is focus of the front label and things like that. And I don't know. 8 years ago or so, we started removing those, and because you don't need it. There's no. Why did we ever care about age statements? It should be about taste, right? So we have no need for age statements. Age statements are ridiculous. So yeah.
Remember when Eagle Rare moved the age statement from the front to the back, and then they moved it completely? I think it's moved completely now.
No, it's still on there.
It's on the back? Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was the plan to take it off there, but they got so much pushback. I think that they're like, no, we're just moving it to the back. It's just brand evolution. Yeah. I think they got caught. That was a game plan. They got caught in making the change, and they said, well, no, we're good. We're good. So yes, I'm tired of it. Now it's coming back, and now they want to tell us how important it is. Look for the age limit. Yeah.
One thing I think that does have to be pointed out from the compliance standpoint is an age statement itself does not have to be a big visible number on the front. It just has to be on the label. If the product is less than 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say small distilleries, because most of the big heritage brands do not put out sub 4 year product. Any small distillery with a product less than 4 years old has to write the age on there. And when they don't, the TTB makes the assumption that the product is at least 4 years old. So that's a little hitch in the whole thing. But from there, once you are 4 years or older, you don't have to state the age.
Right.
Personally, I like the idea of it always, for my own products, I always write on the back label, age minimum 4 years. That doesn't mean there's not 5 or 6 year in there, but there'll probably always be 4 year in there also. So I don't know.
Probably.
I mean, I like it for the transparency.
Yeah. But I don't like the fact when they're telling us it's bad, it's good, it's bad, it's good. Now it's good again. Even Wild Turkey 101, as basic of a product as this is, it's going to be age stated. So, yeah, that's wild. What were you going to say, Kathy?
So I have a couple of theories on this.
Okay.
The first one is just marketing.
Mm-hmm.
What's important to people right now? And back when there was a lot of old whiskey, putting old whiskey numbers on the bottle served them well. And then they started to have less old whiskey. Mm-hmm. So then they said, well, we have less of it, so now we need to make age statements less important. Oh, they're not a big deal. It's no big deal.
Right.
We can, because with bourbon, you have to put the youngest
Correct.
whiskey as...
The youngest whiskey in there is your age.
Is your age.
Yeah.
So, if it was going to make your whiskey look young or unattractive, then let's make it not as important. Now that there's a lot out there, they've been, everyone increased their production. There's a lot to be had. Maybe they've got more older stuff available. So now, now it's important again because the marketing guys are like, well, we've got this older whiskey. Let's market with an age statement.
Right.
And we'll raise the price.
Watch
that coming. Or we're going to drop the volume size of the bottles from 750 to 700, which is also coming.
Right.
I'm not terribly mad
going to 100% 700
Well,
milliliters.
of course, you're not mad at it.
Yeah, you're not mad at it. You're not a fucking consumer. You're a distiller.
Yeah, but also, fair. But I mean, first of all, so it's 50 milliliters. Yes, they're robbing us of that minimal pour, but also like logistically, it makes so much sense because we're one of, I think, 2 countries in the world that have historically required 750 as opposed to 700. Let's just get on board with what.
Okay, so I'm going to repeat one of Steve's arguments on this. What if the European or the other world part of the standard was 800?
Right.
Would you be as excited?
No, we don't. We're America. They should follow what we do. It would be sad. I guarantee he wouldn't be all on board with it. Of course not. Of course not.
No, I would.
See?
No,
and it's just a minimal 50 milliliter pour.
Yeah. Yeah. No, of course they're in favor of it. Just like
point,
the hotels now are like, do you really need to have a maid come to your room every day? Really? Every day? Why?
No, I'm on board with that because as soon as I get to a hotel, I put on.
That's fine. You've always had that option, but now the hotels that discovered this during COVID are now want everyone to go to no maid service. That's what they want. That's what they want.
They should give me a little bit.
I get extra points for not using maid service on all my point programs.
Oh.
What I hate now are just the big volumes of hand wash, shampoo, conditioner.
Yeah.
I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody not putting Nair in there or something like that now. I got to bring my own shit.
Yeah, that throws me out so much because, what are they putting in there? You can put
Nair.
Also,
of course.
People touch them. I don't want to touch what's touched. It freaks me out.
Yes, I just piss in all of them. That's all I do. I don't do anything.
I was thinking of something different than creamy and white.
Yeah,
I was too. Okay, I'm like, what? I was with you.
I do always urinate in the coffee pots.
Yes, you always have to urinate in the coffee.
That's considered polite.
That's what it's there for.
Right, exactly.
It's the polite thing to do.
The internet knows that people pee in the coffee pot, and I'm like, if I'm in this room, what if the person who pissed in there last time, it's dried up? I gotta keep this thing going. It's a thing. I feel compelled to piss in the coffee pots at hotels. I mean,
You have to.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
So
You know,
age statements.
Yeah, bringing it back around to age statements. One thing I did want to point out, and I know you guys are well familiar with this, but like, I would go out on a limb and say that, where American age statements kind of, hit their stride and decided to be a thing and then go away and be a thing again, it definitely came from Scotch, right? Because that historically was these producers that had all this whiskey that wasn't selling, and someone in marketing was like, this stuff's been sitting around for 12 years, 15 years, 18 years. Let's premiumize that as the selling point. And they did. And I think they did a great job of it. And I think it still resonates through almost everyone that, if I'm at a whiskey festival and I pour a bottle, be it our bourbon or single malt, and someone asks, so how old is this? And I say, well, it's at least 4 years. And they're like, not bad. I'd like to taste it with some more age on it. And I'm like, hey, man, the barrel's half empty at 5 years old. How much more age should I let it have?
Yeah.
Like, there'll be none left at 12 years.
I hate telling people anything because, yes, if you give them any insight, you tell them what the proof is or the age or all that, they're just gonna pick on whatever it is. This is a big thing for them to say, let me have a drink of that. How old is it? Oh, it's 4 years old.
So make them taste it first before you tell them that.
Oh, I try, but you
Like,
can't.
how old do you think it is? Like, put it.
They're gonna mansplain you no matter what. So they gotta have their importance to tell you how things taste.
Sometimes I'll fuck with somebody and they'll taste it and they say, how old is this? I say 14 years. Just see what they say.
Yeah,
It's good to know that I have that kind of
You got that leeway.
latitude.
Leeway.
Latitude. Yeah.
when I'm pouring.
That is, it's just very liberating about owning your own company because you can say whatever the fuck you want. Yeah, so I can fuck with people. It's back to the old Lenny thing. All they got is they can write you a bad review, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to ask a newbie question. When did age statements become a thing in bourbon and whiskey?
I think they become a thing. Like when they first go on age on labels, I think they've kind of always been on labels to some degree. I think they become a big thing when those decanters start coming out because they're like, we gotta figure out a way to make the decanters appealing. We'll make them cool looking. We'll get unusual things, and then we're gonna put really old whiskey in there, so people give them incentive to buy it. So it's wow, this must be special. So yeah, I think that's when age statements become
Okay, because if it were like just around when people were doing this in their houses and in the woods or whatever, or whiskey was not trusted, and why we had to develop things like the Bottle and Bond Act, it was because, well, I've got something. It's 4 days old, but I poured some tobacco spit in it, and look at that wonderful aged color. That makes sense.
I poured some Nair in it.
For whiskey.
Yeah, I put some Nair in it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just hate the fact that we're being told that it's a big deal to have the age statements back after we had been told by the exact same people, mind you, that they don't matter. The age statements don't matter, and we don't need them. They should all go away, and don't stress out about it. That big red Clifford 12 that was on the front of Elijah Craig, that's no big deal to lose that. Don't care. You shouldn't care about that. It's all done by taste. Yeah.
But
How long
isn't
till that
it
12 comes back?
ultimately just done by taste?
Exactly.
If it tastes good,
You would
you're going to
think.
buy it whether it has an age statement on it or not.
This is true.
Yeah, I sort of agree, but I think I think we'd all agree. There are a lot of folks that will chase a product and swear by it, not just because of the age statement, but because of its difficulty to secure. And I've had those products. I had one recently, and I think that blind, I would not approve of it. I would give it the thumbs down. I would say that multi-$100 price point per bottle is fucking bonkers.
Right. I do think it's going to make life tougher as these become more and more part of big heritage whiskey, to put age statements on everything. We're seeing it on more and more bean products. We're seeing it on things like the Wild Turkey 101. I think that ultimately that's going to reflect back on our friends that have smaller, younger distilleries, because it's tough for them to be able to put. If the consumer thinks that because they've been educated once again that these are a good thing, and they think that the people that are chasing all that stuff anyway, and now they're like, oh well, it has to be at least 8 years old to be good because that's what they do. They listen to these companies what they tell them. I think it's bad for people who have companies like Lenny. I mean, you're not going to have where everything you've got coming out is an 8-year age statement. Royce Neely's not going to have things that are everything's got to be 8-year age stated. It's just, it's just not going to happen. So I think it's once again it's bad for the industry. Better than celebrity bourbon, but it's still bad.
It's a power move by the big houses to again squeeze out the smaller competition because the smaller competition, or like Lenny, like I said, I argue you're a mid-sized producer now. These mid and small size producers have put a dent into the pie chart for them on their market share. And here's a great way to squeeze it out. He started the marketing team, start whipping them up again, and everything less than 8 years old is still young whiskey now. And here we go.
Right.
Well, then let's make it our mission to educate people on the misinformation they're being given by the heritage brands.
And if you make it entertaining, you can open up a business like some of us have doing some of that. And that's exactly right.
There you go. Taste the stuff blind. This is the key. Blind tasting.
Absolutely.
Being open to things. We certainly are, the ABV Barrel Shop is ground zero for that kind of stuff, right? Because we have that, and some people come in with an open mind that think that they like age statements and old heritage brand, and they will literally sit down there and taste our stuff and be like, wow, this is eye-opening. It's different. It's good. It's better. It's amazing. And then you got other people who will be like, you can't convince them of anything. They would just want to tell you it's not good because that's not what they're used to. So, I get it. The wife has a friend that only go to Disney for vacation, and they try to go somewhere else. It's not like Disney. Well, of course it's not like Disney because it's not Disney. Yeah. So it's the same type of thing. If your mindset is only you can do one thing, you're not going to get outside of that. So yeah.
Yeah, stop being bougie, everyone. Just taste whiskey.
Taste whiskey, and then legitimately, if you like it, who cares about anything else? The age, mash bill, anything. Who made it? If it's good whiskey, it's good whiskey, right?
Yep.
That's what you need to do. So,
love it.
There you go. Once again, it all comes down to taste. So there you go. And don't tell me you don't have a good palate. Well, okay, just your palate if your palate can tell you what is good and what if you like this or you don't, you got a good palate.
Yeah, I was gonna say your palate's your palate. You're not gonna like what everybody else likes, and you don't have to be like, oh, this guy said it was good, so I thought it was good. You're allowed to hate things too.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So
we like different foods. We can like different whiskeys.
So just because McNew likes ranch, it doesn't mean it's bad.
But if she tried it next to blue cheese, she'd realize it's bad.
Yes.
That's the thing.
I know. I wish McNew would try blue cheese. She'd find a whole new world in front of her. But no, she has to stick to her beloved ranch, and she'll never get outside of that. So.
Oh my God, I'm gonna go jump off a bridge.
Yeah.
Just try the French for a little bit. The French dressing, or even a little French Western combo with little bacon bits in there. Now you're really talking.
Western dressing, great. You put that on a taco salad, and it's fantastic. I like Western dressing. It's fantastic.
Kraft Catalina. That's all you need.
Catalina wine mixer too is pretty cool.
Catalina wine mixer.
Boom! No rant.
So there you go. There is a little bit about what's going on out there in terms of age statements. So yes, they're back, and we're just going to have to deal with them, I think. So we'll see what happens. We'll see where we go from here. We're going to wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Kathy, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me drinking whiskey that tastes good no matter how old or young it is, and at Instagram at KK Cast Strength.
All right, Tim.
I'm going to continue enjoying my no age statements, or at minimum 4 years from Deerhammer as an example. And you can find that journey on Instagram at SwyGuy2112 and on our flagship whiskey on YouTube.
Lenny.
You can find me and the rest of Deer Hammer on social media at Deer Hammer, on the webs at deerhammer.com. And coming soon, when our tasting room reopens, you can visit us in beautiful Buena Vista, Colorado.
All right. Say someone swings by now. Can they even poke their head in and look around? What can
sure
they do?
can.
Is the gift shop?
They could
What
smear
if I
their
want to buy a
nose.
bunch of T-shirts? I want to buy 30 T-shirts.
Yeah, you can smear your nose against the window and look at the T-shirts, but no one will come out and help you.
I want to buy 30, and I want to pay full retail.
Then, just shoot me a DM and we'll figure it out.
I knew it. I knew we could get this done. All right, McNew, how about you? Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at McNew ABV.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us, the ABV Barrel Shop, the place where you can try before you buy. You can decide yourself what is good whiskey. Don't worry about age statements. We won't tell you that. You're just going to taste and see what you like. All right, McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Shh. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you're in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.